Forget it, Jake. It's Chinatown.
Hey guys, hope you are going well. This is going to be a spoilerific discussion chat on Avengers Infinity Wars. Infinity Wars. I keep saying Infinity Wars. Avengers Infinity War, singular. There's just one war, although there's about to be a second one next May, but we'll get into that. This is a spoiler chat, so you have to have seen the movie. If you're interested in the movie and haven't seen it, firstly, why not? Secondly, you can go and see a spoiler-free review that I've already posted a few days ago, so go and check that out. But yes, we are getting heavy into the spoilers. We're going to be talking all about that ending. We're going to be talking about my favorite moments. We're going to be talking about my theories for what we might see next. And let me clarify, like, a lot of the theories for what I think we might see next are not theories that I myself have invented. They're fan theories that have already been put out there by people a lot more schooled with the MCU and the comic book lore and backstory and that kind of thing. And I've just been hearing them and I'm on board. Where I'm actually going to start though, which if I didn't already say this, I freaking love this movie. It was so exciting. It was everything that I expected it to be. And it was such a payoff from all the Marvel movies we've seen previously that have been teasing. And if I didn't already say this in my spoiler-free review, which I'm pretty sure I did, Thanos making this film about Thanos, really making it his story, because there are so many superheroes. The fact that the Russo brothers just streamlined it back and focused on Thanos and all the superheroes were kind of countering that, I just thought it was such a smart move. And I think that this works really well for the next movie, because this movie was all Thanos. The next movie will be their great comeback. Anyway, I digress. Where I really wanted to get started from was I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me some questions to get this spoiler chat going, because like I said, my mind is racing a million miles an hour and I don't even know where to start. So thanks for asking me some questions. This comment starts with, where was Valkyrie? Excellent question. I'm really sad that she probably died like 5 minutes before the movie started when Thanos boarded Thor's ship. So bit sad that she didn't even get one line before she did. Hulk and Banner dynamic. Yes. What did I think of Hulk not wanting to Hulk out and then just not being there for the final battle? Was it that the Russo brothers wanted to give Mark Ruffalo a bit of like time in the sun, because the last movie in Thor Ragnarok, Hulk was Hulk like 80% of the movie, so they wanted to give Mark Ruffalo a bit of screen time? No, that was probably not the case, but I liked seeing that inner conflict between Bruce and Hulk, and him like trying to coax Hulk out into the battle and it just not happening. I thought that kind of added something to it. Plus as well, again, I'm really thinking bigger picture. I'm really thinking about how they're going to come back now and win in the next part 2 of Infinity War. So maybe this is a good idea for them to keep Hulk sidelined so they can bring him out to big effect in the next movie. Not sure about that. What's your theory about the ending? Why would Strange give the time stone in order to keep Stark alive? Yes, Infinity War was just mind-blowing. Totally agree. Okay, here's a theory, and I have to stress, it's not my theory. I've already heard this. I think I heard it over on Emergency Awesome, that channel, which kind of give me all my Marvel info. But they were saying, I think that's where I heard it. But yeah, I really think that Doctor Strange knows that what he did was the only way that it could go down. Like when he went into that trance and he was thinking of all the millions of, or he was looking at all the millions of possibilities of the outcome of the war with Thanos, he knew that there was only one possible way that they would be able to win. So whatever he did, his actions that followed that, once he found out that information, all the actions that followed were clearly in order to preserve that possible future. So when he gave up the Infinity Stone to Thanos in order to save Stark, that was definitely a conscious move. And he told Stark, he said, this is the only way. So even though we are from Stark's point of view thinking, oh my gosh, he's just given up, that was the wrong thing to do, I think we've got to trust that Doctor Strange has a plan. I hope he's got a plan. Where do you think the characters that disintegrated went? Well, firstly, let's talk about the characters that disintegrated. And really, I was on the edge of my seat. I was so shocked until Peter Parker. Oh my God, that moment, by the way, just broke me when he's like, I don't want to go, Mr. Stark. I didn't cry, but I was crying on the inside. That was a really sweet moment. That really nearly got me. But when Peter Parker died, when Spider-Man died or disintegrated into ash, that's when I really knew and was certain that, oh, okay, we're safe. They're not really dead. They're not really gone. They're definitely coming back in some way. And some people are talking about how this kind of undermines the stakes, because we know that the Marvel, the plan for Marvel, that they've got their whole catalog of films coming out, the roster for films coming out for the next, I don't even know how many years. So we know we're getting another Spider-Man movie. We know we're getting another Black Panther movie. So really, we know that these characters aren't dead. They're either, time is either going to rewind in some fashion and they will come back in some way, or maybe they've gone to a different alternate universe, or maybe, here's the big theory. This is the theory that's definitely from Emergency Awesome. It's not my theory, but that Thanos had to sacrifice the one he loved. He had to sacrifice his daughter, Gamora, in order to obtain the Soul Stone, which, by the way, that was the moment that made me nearly shed a tear. I think that was the most poignant moment in the film for me, because I do think that Thanos really loved Gamora, even though she didn't understand it. And she loved him back in her own way too. Otherwise she wouldn't have broke down crying when she thought that she killed him earlier on, even though that she didn't actually do that. So I do think that they love each other in their own sort of twisted way. The theory is that now that Thanos is finished, so his character achieved its arc for the movie. He set out in the beginning of the movie to obtain all 6 Infinity Stones and to click his fingers and to genocide around the world, 50% of the population, to disintegrate into ash people. That was his objective. And throughout the movie, by the end of the film, he achieved that objective. Not like a regular bad guy who once they get the final stone, they start laughing and then they make a speech and then it's all some big grand ceremony. He got the stone, which is what he wanted, clicked his fingers instantly, and then everything went down just like that. And there was no song and dance about it. It was really sad. In fact, I've got to say, I really liked how the Russo brothers handled that. The fact that there was no big ceremony. There was no big climax in that way when Thanos achieved what he wanted. He just went to what we think is Gamora's planet and just sat and, is it a sunset? Just sat and watched the sunset really calmly. And that was a very unsettling way to end that. But it did show that that completed his character arc. So the theory, which I keep... Sorry, you got to follow my bouncing train of thought here. The theory is that now that Thanos' arc is complete, the only way that they're going to get back, that the heroes and Avengers are going to get back, is if they can get the gauntlet, if they can get the Infinity Stones and the Soul Stone. So maybe if one of them, one of the Avengers, one of our heroes sacrifices something to obtain the Soul Stone, that they will have the power to reverse something back. Does that make sense? I'm thinking that the Ash people have gone somewhere, but they're not gone far. They're coming back. Not only do we know this because they've got other movies slated for the next couple of years, so they're definitely coming back, but they're also coming back because of the way the movie has set it up. That's given us little clues and little ways around it. Nothing is definitive. We know that time can be reversed. We've seen Doctor Strange do that several times. And even in the movie, right at that climax moment after Scarlet Witch sacrifices Vision, which is such a poignant moment. And then 5 seconds later, Thanos comes and just rewinds time. that was the moment that I was like, oh, they're not going to do this, are they? They're not going to end it just like that. When Thor busts out Stormbreaker and gets Thanos right through the chest and he says back, you should have gone for the head, I was like, yes, thank you, Marvel, for not going the easy way out. It was a really good moment. Okay, back to my questions, which have been helping me, so thank you. Is Gamora really dead, or is she just part of the Soul Stone now? Yeah, I think she's part of the Soul Stone. So I do feel like because Gamora and Peter Quill did not get a chance to say goodbye, I think her entity is attached to the stone in some way. So there could be a moment in the next film where Quill gets to do some sort of goodbye with her or a version of her, but I really hope that she's dead. That sounds morbid, but I'm of the camp of people that believe that when Thanos snapped his fingers, the Ash people who died, they're coming back in some way. But the people that died earlier in the film, them being Loki, Gamora, and even Vision, they're gone. They have to be gone. I think they have to be gone in order for those stakes to really matter. I don't see how bringing Gamora back after such emotional death for her would really benefit anything. Well, except a Guardians 3 movie, obviously. Are Thor and Rocket our new favorite team? Yes, totally. Thor is emerging as the funniest, his comedic timing is above even Star-Lord. Honestly, he is just so funny. He proved in Thor Ragnarok that Chris Hemsworth, but Thor the character, just has a really great sense of humor. And here as well, when he's says goodbye morons, I was and my whole cinema started laughing. It was so funny. And him and Rocket together are a really, really great team. The fact that he's always so sincere, even though he's wrong. When he kept calling Rocket Rabbit and he kept saying sweet rabbit. I just thought it was so funny. I loved it. I loved the Thor and Rocket moments, and just Thor in general. He's just become such good value. Really, really funny. And in fact, there were heaps of really funny moments throughout the movie, which I loved. I don't think they went too hard on the comedy at all. In fact, I think it balanced things out really, really nicely. Star-Lord had plenty of funny moments in there, as to be expected. He's kind of the jokester character, so that's all what we expected from him. Drax as well. I thought that Drax did better in this film than in Guardians Volume 2. In Guardians Volume 2, they played him very much as a one-liner comedic relief. Too much. He kind of lost that sweet naivety that he had in Volume 1, and they just played him straight for laughs, and it was just too hammy. But in Infinity War, I think he had some really funny moments, when he's trying to master the act of being invisible, and Gamora and Star-Lord are just looking at him being no, dude, you're just moving really slowly. We can still see you. There were some other star comedy moments that I loved, in the final battle when Groot goes to Captain America. He goes, I am Groot. And Cap goes, I am Steve Rogers. Who will stay dead? This is the big question. And I think I already mentioned this. I do think and hope, as much as I love Loki like everybody else, and Gamora, I feel like Loki, Gamora, and Vision need to stay dead. Otherwise, that doesn't really make sense to me. So I think that they'll stay dead and everyone else will come back. But I'm holding with the general consensus that one of our main core Avengers will probably die in the next one. So I didn't think that we'd lose Iron Man or Cap in this one, but I'm thinking there's potential now for us to lose one of them in the next movie. This film, Infinity War, really focused heavily on Tony Stark and drew that parallel between Iron Man and Thanos as kind of core opposites of each other. And I feel like that gives a hint, because we hardly saw Cap in this movie. Maybe they're phasing Cap out. I don't know. Maybe they're giving us a warning that in the next film, Stark is going to have to make the ultimate sacrifice and choose the universe over Captain America. Don't know. What happened to Cherie? Was she the only one we didn't see either stay or disappear? Yes, that is exactly what I was thinking. What happened to Cherie? So Cherie was working on Vision, we know, in her lab, in her high-tech lab, and she didn't get to finish the procedure to remove the stone from Vision. But when the battle started, she kind of like got out of there. And I felt like, again, I've only seen the movie once, but I felt like she grabbed her plans or grabbed like whatever she was working on and yeah, bailed. And she is so smart, even smarter than Bruce, as she made so clear to them when they came to visit her. So I reckon she has a plan up her sleeve. So she's got a plan and Doctor Strange have a plan. They're the only two characters with a plan right now. That's how I'm feeling. Okay guys, that is it for me. They are my off-the-cuff thoughts of Avengers Infinity War. I love this movie. I need to see it a second time, I really do, to make sense of it all, but I just thought they did such a good job to have such a huge roster of characters and pull off a movie in a successful way, okay? Like, yes, it's not like perfect. No movie is perfect. It's got its own little flaws. But the fact that it had so many characters and managed to essentially give everyone a look in. Oh, except, that just reminded me, except Hawkeye and Ant-Man. I don't know if it was a case of just there wasn't enough screen time to fit those guys in, or if maybe they'll come out and make an appearance in the next movie. Not sure what the logic is behind not seeing them, even for just a one line or even just a reference. Oh, they referenced Hawkeye, didn't they? But yeah, I'm not sure what the logic is there, but I was kind of, yeah, they were definitely missing in the final battle for sure. Anyway, I gotta stop there, otherwise I'll just keep rambling on and keep remembering additional points that I want to talk about and talked about how much I loved. That's it. Avengers Infinity War. Spoiler chat. Done. I cannot wait to hear your theories. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Don't forget, you can also subscribe to my channel here if you haven't already. Why not? Keep up to date with all things movies and TV. Guys, I will see you next time. Bye.